What questions should you be asking yourself before you set out on that goal you want so badly? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome. Okay, here's the question. Serious? How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph? Come on. Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it up. What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Here we are, coming at you live. We're going to try something a little different. I thought I would start incorporating some live versions into the podcast. So here we are with the first endeavor into this. So we're playing around. If it blows up in my face, oh well, at least we tried. How you doing today? Here we are. It's a wonderful Tuesday in April. I hope you had an awesome Easter, however you may have spent it. But, yesterday we listened to Mike Chesniak talk about some amazing things. And I wanted to talk about goals. And I know I've talked about goals before, but I specifically want to go into the milieu check of goal setting. I think one of the things that so many of us miss is asking those right questions. And, asking those right questions are important because balance in your life is an important factor to success. This balance comes from, working on that balance of, long-term and short-term goals, balancing all the different areas of your life, the financial, the spiritual, the social, the business, the relationships. If they're out of balance and things get out of whack, and your life gets a lot of whack. So doing a pre-flight milieu check will force you to review the cost and the impact of taking on a given goal for the other areas. If going through this milieu check will force you to see its impact on your life's current landscape, your future life's landscape as well. How it's going to impact, your life, your finances, your relationship, your health, your friends, the whole 9 yards. It's all gonna wrap it all up in there for you. I keep dropping this word milieu check, right? What is a milieu check? Well, if we've ever thought about any of those movies where they had the scene at Capcom, right? Maybe the shuttle or some rockets getting ready to take off, right? And you see I'm drawing a blank. You see flight is asking the folks that are sitting in front of their screens, right? They're sitting in front of their screens and they're looking at all the indicators, all the go, no-go lights on there. And flight goes to each one of them one by one and asks them, systems, check, oxygen, check, right? Electronics, check. Communications, check, right? And the people in there looking at their monitors give them it looks okay. No, that's not what they do. They give them a go or a no-go, because it's just that. It's yes or it's no, right? Because if you give kind of a wishy-washy answer and it should have been no, well, then you could have had a pretty, disastrous event happen, right? So you want to give this honest go, no-go answer. And this same thing happens in the case of your life. Your milieu check follows the same principle. You want to review some of these key systems in your life, in your world, to see how the launch of this goal will impact it, right? So put quite simply, this milieu check is answering a series of questions that will give you a go, no-go, based off the current landscape of your life. It's like you have this own army of personnel sitting at their screens, right? And they're reviewing all the indicators, right? However, that all those personnel, they're all up here in your head, right? In the movies and in real life, they give that the flight control, the flight director, the wrong information, or they ignore the warning signals. That could be really disastrous. Well, the same thing can happen in your world. And at the best of repeating myself, right? I want to drive that home. And here's the thing: in Capcom, These folks have the discipline to do that, and flight will hold them to their feet to the fire. When it comes to you reviewing the landscape of your own life and the outcome, the impact and outcome of these goals in your world, right? It's going to be you. Only you can hold your feet to the fire. Hold on. Sorry about that. I took a brief pause as I changed some of the indicators down here. Hey, how's it going? The only person, people that are going to hold your feet to the fire are you, right? So you need to answer these questions honestly. And, some of these questions are really easy. Some of these questions, it may be, I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. Here's the thing. If you think even for a moment that the answer is no, like I tell you the question and the first thing that pops into your head is, yeah, I don't think so. Then it's quite probably that's the answer. Don't overanalyze it, right? It's just a real quick, hey, is this going on? Now, there's like 14. There's 5 key ones and then some additional ones beyond that. Now, tomorrow on the podcast episode, I want to give you the last 7, but I want to give you the key anchor ones that you need to add. Always be sure to ask yourself, and then a couple of the extra ones. And then on the podcast episode tomorrow, we'll follow up with the remainders. All right. All right, so here's where we're going to go. These are the things you want to ask yourself. This one, the first one is very obvious, but so many people forget this one. Is this really my goal? Go or no go, right? And you really want to ask this question because how many times have you seen someone going after a goal that you know is their spouse's goal or their parents' goal? Or their brother's goal. Or maybe it was their goal, but it was the goal of the person that they were 5 years ago, right? And now they've outgrown that goal and they're really destined to be something else, or they'd be better suited for something else. So the first question to yourself is this my goal? There you go. Go, no go. Second question. Can I see myself reaching this goal? Ooh, if you can't see yourself reaching the goal, don't even start it right now. Because if you don't have that inner self-belief that, yeah, I can reach that goal, not a problem. Or even, yeah, I can reach this goal, it's going to take some damn work, right? If you answer yourself, no, I can't reach that goal, don't start it. It's not time yet. There's some things you need to learn, do, teach, whatever, before you start that goal. All right, number 3. When I reach this goal, will my life be in balance? Oh, this is a big one because so many times people are going after a goal that now I know you've got to give, you might have to sacrifice some time with the family to work harder in a business, or you might have to sacrifice some time in a business to foster a relationship. And that's a give and take. I get that. That's balancing. But once you reach the goal, will your life be in balance? That's the question. And if you see that going, man, if I reach that goal, I'll never have time I'll never have time to, follow my spiritual path. I'll never have time to be healthy. Maybe it's not time to start that goal. Just saying. These are your questions these are questions for you to answer yourself. Okay. Now, number 4, is this goal consistent with the flight path of my other goals? What? Yeah. So many times he's like, hey, I'm going to go after this goal. And you're like, all right, this goal looks good. It went through my check and everything looks good. And then you're maybe a month into that goal, 2 months, a year, whatever it is, and you start a new goal. And those 2 goals are butting heads. And you're like, why can't I get any damn thing done? It's because there's a lot of this going on, right? So maybe you need to finish something else before you start this one. So again, is this goal consistent with the flight path of my other goals? All right. Okay. Number 5. It's number 5, right? I'm counting. I have my notes here. Will the work needed for this goal be morally right and fair for me and my crew? Now your crew, as I've mentioned in a previous episode of the podcast, and I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. You have 2 crews. You have your who on to crew and you have your can't do crew. Now the can't do crew is pretty self-explanatory. Those are all the people in your sphere of influence that are saying you can't do it. You can't do it. Well, you can do it. You already answered that question. Remember, I can see myself reaching this goal. So you can do it. Now, your who on to crew is all those people in your sphere of influence that you're helping, that are going to be helping you. And by helping you, it could be anything. It could be physically helping. It could be resource helping. It could be knowledge helping. It could just be support helping, right? So, will the work that you need to do to get this goal done be morally right and fair for everyone in your crew, right? Within your sphere of influence? And if the answer is no, then please, don't start that goal yet, because you don't want to be morally unright or morally unfair to anyone in your crew. That's not the kind of person you are, is it? I didn't think so. All right. 2 more, and I'm going to leave the rest for you to check out on tomorrow's podcast episode. All right. And this is where we get a little more past that. These first 5 are really the key ones, but then we want to dig a little deeper. Will accomplishing this goal make you happier? Well, of course it's going to make me happier, Tracy. It's going to make me all this money. Yeah. Really? If that's all it's going to be, then, right. But you got to honestly answer the question, will accomplishing this goal make you happier? And if the answer is no, it's not time to start the goal. And I'm not saying here's the thing. If you say no, or if you say no-go to any of these questions, it's not that you need to scrap that goal entirely. It's just not the right time for now, right? Go through the Milieu check again in 30 days, or in a quarter from now, or next year. You may say, hey, it's all goes now. Right on. The landscape of your life is fluid. It changes. It moves. It grooves. Yeah? It's the music of life, right? Okay. So if it's not going to make you happy, why start the damn goal? Okay. And then the last one I'm going to leave you with today, again, the rest of these will be in the podcast episode tomorrow, is will accomplishing this goal, reaching this goal, attaining it. When you get to the top of the mountain, you're like, yeah, I did it. Will you be healthier? And if the answer is no, you don't want to start that goal right now, because you don't want to give up your health. You don't want to give up your happiness. You don't want to give up or do anything wrong to your crew, your friends, your family, right? You don't want to start a goal that's not in consistency with your other goals, right? You don't want to start a goal that's going to throw your life all out of balance, right? You only want to start goals that you can see yourself attaining. And you really only want to start goals that are your goals. So be sure to ask yourself these questions. Go through this Milieu check when you are going through your goal setting process. This is part of a big process I take all my folks through to help them with their goal setting, goal achieving. All right. Again, I'm going to leave, there's like 7 more of these. These will be dropping on tomorrow's podcast episode. I'm going to add this live into the podcast episode for today. And if you have any questions, hey, please go ahead, drop them on down here. I'll certainly engage you in here. If you disagree with me, drop those thoughts down here too. Let me know. Let's have a little conversation about this. Or, hey, here's a really great one. If there's a question you think I missed, what? Of course I didn't miss anything. No, I'm not infallible. Certainly if there's a question you think, hey, what about this one, Tracy? This would be an amazing question to be sure we're keeping our finger on the pulse of our life's blood when it comes to goals and goal setting. Drop it down here. Let me know. I'll certainly add it to my list. All right. With that, I'm going to invite you to come and check tomorrow's episode 169, Goal Achieving, the Milieu Check, Part 2. Right. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you like I always do. Think successfully and take action. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.